Okay. Good evening. Welcome to the Sweetwater County School District Number 1 Board of Trustees meeting for August 14th, 2023. Please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Ms. Murray, if you would proceed with roll call, please.
Ms. Cochran, Ms. Schumacher, Mrs. Summers. Here. Mrs. Thompson. Here. Mrs. Wood. Here. Mr. Wright. Chair Jellicoe.
Present. Please note we have a quorum with 4 members attending. Okay, I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda, which also includes an addendum. It's been moved by Mrs. Wood. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Summers. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed by the same sign. Motion passes. Communications and correspondence or the public comment. If a member of the public initiates specific complaints or charges against an employee in order to protect the employee's rights to privacy and due process, the board will only hear those complaints or charges in closed session. The board encourages concerned individuals to file complaints using the appropriate district complaint procedure and appropriate forms, which can be obtained from the district's website. As per policies B, DDH, and KD, please limit your comments to the board to one time. If your comments have been previously submitted in writing, please refrain from addressing the board a second time. Written comments will be posted to the agenda in the written public comment section below. Written public comments must be received by 1:00 p.m. on the day of the board meeting and will be available for the public and trustees to view, but will not be read aloud at the board meeting. Policies B, DDH, and KD continue to state, questions asked by the public shall, when possible, be answered immediately by the chairman or referred to staff members present for reply. Questions requiring investigation shall be referred to the board or administrative staff for consideration and later response. We have received one written public comment that has been added to the agenda and is available as part of the agenda on the website. Is there any in-person public comment? Any in-person public comment? In-person public comment for the last time. Okay, we'll move on to the treasurer's report. Mrs. Summers.
For the general fund treasurer's report, month of July 2023, the beginning balance was $14,881,956.43. Revenues received during the month totaled $603,671.07. Interbank transfers in totaled $5 million. Less the warrants written during the month of $5,180,363.41, and interbank transfers out totaling $5 million. And voided checks totaled $375.50 for an ending cash balance of $10,305,639.59. The treasurer's report for the school lunch program, July of 2023. The beginning balance was $637,741.29. Interest accrued was $859. Revenue was $903.61. Federal reimbursement totaled $13,529.84. FFVP grant reimbursement was $0 last month. Reimbursement to the general fund was $0. Bank transfers for the FFVP grant were $0. And there was an ending balance of $663,020.74. For the Head Start program, treasurer's report, July of '23. The beginning balance was $101,071.06. Deposits were made in totaling $132.25. The warrants cleared were 0, and the ending balance was $101,203.31.
Okay, I'd entertain a motion to approve the general fund, school lunch, and Head Start treasurer's reports. It's been moved by Mrs. Wood. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Thompson. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed by the same sign. Motion passes. We'll go on to the warrants. Mrs. Summers.
Approval of the district warrants, checks number 161357 through 161709, totaling the amount of $3,517,496.94. The net payroll numbers 786622 through 786907 in the amount of $563,588.08. Payroll number 129379 in the amount of $1,532.35. Payroll numbers 786908 through 786909 in the amount of $11,328.72. Payroll number 129380 in the amount of $3,638.67. And numbers 129381 through 129385 in the amount of $7,171.29. And numbers 786910 through 787102 in the amount of $447,307.84. Check number 1005, totaling the amount of $350,000. Check number 3763787, totaling the amount of $125,000. Check number 300, totaling the amount of $669.99. Check number 301, totaling $40, 302 for $20, 303 for $30, 304 for $10, 305 for $5.
I'd entertain a motion to approve the district warrants and also to release those payments. It's been moved by Mrs. Wood. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Thompson. I want to declare a conflict on warrant 0016168. Any other discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed by the same sign. Motion passes. Consent agenda. All matters listed under the consent agenda are matters about which the board has governing policies, implementation of which is delegated to the superintendent. They will be enacted in one motion in the order listed below. There will be no discussion of these items prior to the time the Board of Trustees votes on the motion, unless members of the board request specific items to be held and discussed separately and/or removed from this section. Motion to approve the consent agenda as presented. A, approval of the minutes from the July 19th, 2023 board workshop. B, approval of the minutes from the July 19th, 2023 board meeting. Item C is an addendum item, Head Start, approval of the Head Start governance and leadership capacity screening certification. D, Human Resources, approval of personnel recommendations. E is an addendum item for Nutrition Services, approval of the purchase of a la carte beverages. F, Transportation, approval of the fuel bids for the 2023-2024 school year. Okay, that completes the consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
It's moved by Mrs. Summers. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Wood. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed by the same sign. Motion passes. Item number 7 on the agenda, resolution for property tax availability. Approval of the resolution. Gina, if you would entertain us, please. I don't know if entertain's the right word. Inform us. Let's put it that way.
Okay. All right, Chair Jellicoe, Superintendent McGovern, Board of Trustees. What you see in front of you is a resolution that we're requesting to be passed effective June 30th, 2023. So that's our previous fiscal year. And what this definition will do, it's kind of changing the definition of property tax available that we have reported on our audited financial statements. And by passing this resolution, what this will do, this will kind of bring our books closer to how we operate and also kind of make our cash carryover easier to manage because it'll be in line with how we budget. And so that's kind of the meat of this resolution. So these numbers, the change will be reflected on the audited financial statements. And we are kind of currently in the process of, our auditors are working with us on that. So, and like I said, we'd like this effective for the previous fiscal year, June 30th, 2023. So when the financial statements get approved, the audited one in our December meeting, this change could be effective at that point because it's effective back to our previous fiscal year.
So this kind of brings us in line with our new auditors. Is that accurate?
It is.
Kind of at the request of them to kind of bring us into what their vision of the audit looks like?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, they were kind of instrumental in kind of helping us prepare this and kind of being in line with just kind of better managing our funds and reporting our property tax receivable.
Thank you. Further questions? Any further questions? A motion to approve the resolution for property tax availability.
So moved.
Moved by Mrs. Summers. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Wood. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed by the same sign. Motion passes. Item number 8, the workforce stabilization incentive. Excuse me. Either one of you want to?
Okay.
Either
As you
one?
can tell, we're looking at each other.
Superintendent McGovern?
Thank you, Chair Jellicoe. Fellow trustees and our community, this actually is a similar workforce stabilization incentive that the district has hosted, I believe, a couple of times. This is coming funded through our American Rescue Plan grant efforts. And one thing in this proposal before you tonight is we don't have the cost per year actually allocated at this point. We did a similar process last year. We know that we'll have the $1,000 plus the additional yearly amount, but we're not quite sure yet. When it gets a little bit closer, we'll see how the grant is doing per year. And then you can see by looking below the dates that it will be effective for. And again, the idea for this is really a recruitment and another retention strategy that we're using as a District 1 to thank our employees for being a part of our district, but also it is one of the outcomes from the pandemic as a process of what we use to hire people and keep our quality staff. I welcome any questions.
Any questions? Please notice that there's an incentive there for certified as well as full-time as well as part-time employees. Okay, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
It's been moved by Mrs. Wood. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Thompson. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed by the same sign. Motion passes. Item number 9, 2023-2024 Overland Handbook. Please, Mrs. McGovern.
Thank you, Chair Jellicoe. Trustees, what you have before you on this one is at the July meeting, the board approved all of the handbook changes for our schools K through 12. What you have in front of you this evening is our pre-K handbook that we have never had before, and that's why it is a separate item in front of you. And what we've got really is a two-prong process before this handbook was ready for your review. The first part was the licensing for the Overland program for all of our preschool classes as well as our daycare. And then pending that licensure, it was reviewed by our legal counsel. And then now it's ready for permission from all of you for your approval. So it's been through a couple of steps before it's been ready for you, but I think we're there.
Thank you. I'd entertain a motion to approve the Overland Elementary Early Childhood Education Program Handbook.
So moved.
It's been moved by Mrs. Summers. Is there a second? Second by Mrs. Wood. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed by the same sign. Motion passes. Item number 10, the Children's Internet Protection Act, or the SIPA. This would be the SIPA policy, and this is information only, correct? Okay, please proceed.
Hello, Chair Jellicoe, Board of Trustees, Superintendent McGovern. I just wanted to take a few minutes to touch base with you and let you know SIPA is the Child Internet Protection Act. So this went into effect by the Federal Communications Commission in 2000. This requires that as a district, when we provide our students access to the internet, we're protecting them from obscene and harmful content. So we were ahead of the game. I was actually just doing a little bit of research, and we adopted JFCM in January of 1996. So way ahead of the game on that. It was 4 years later before we were required to protect our kids. The policy was last revised in February 2015, and really the requirement, not only is this the right thing to do for our students, but also it impacts some of the money that we get federally. So a lot of the rewiring projects we've done in our buildings have come from E-rate funds. So we've been able to get some money back on those through E-rate in order to get our buildings up to code and up to speed with quicker internet. They reimburse us for the jetpacks where we're assisting our families at home who may not have internet, and they also help us to get discounts on our phones. So we're protecting our kids.
Okay, and again, this is information. This time it will be for approval next month.
I think it's just information.
Just information.
Yep.
We don't have to do anything
Yep,
else.
because the policy's been
Policy's already in
approved.
place.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Any questions? Anyone?
I do have
Thank you.
one little shout out I forgot. Securely is what we use to protect our kids. And I'm going to be sending communication out to our parents tomorrow so that they can get their controls set up, because I know we got a lot of computers handed out today. So, all right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Item number 11, nutrition services. Adult meal prices beginning in the 2023-2024 school year. Approval of the adult meal prices for this school year. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
It's been moved by Mrs. Wood. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Summers. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed by the same sign. Motion passes. Item number 12, human resources. Approval of the paraprofessional and secretarial salary schedules for the 2023-2024 school year, effective July 1st, 2023. Mrs. McGovern, you want to speak to that?
Trustees, on these two salary schedules, the first one on the paraprofessional salary schedule, it's coming before you this evening because we wanted to specify what a sub-para rate of pay would be, similar to what our secretarial salary schedule has. And so it is typically the rate of pay in the upper left-hand corner. And I believe that's what our proposal is for the paraprofessional 23-24. For the secretarial salary schedule, we went through and took a look at the duties of our various secretaries, and there was one of them that we missed, and that was for Farson Eden. And so that slight change is reflected on here. All of the others are unchanged and ready to go. One thing that would be important to note is that these would be effective July 1, similar to all of the other salary schedules that we've brought before the board for your approval.
A motion to approve the paraprofessional and secretarial salary schedules for the 2023-2024 school year effective July 1st, 2023. Is there a motion?
So moved.
It's been moved by Mrs. Thompson. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Summers. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed by the same sign. Motion passes. General Board Business, item number 13. A is an addendum. It's approval of policy DLHG, the certified payroll procedures. I just want to note for general purposes, I spoke with the SEA president, the Sweetwater Education Association president, and SEA this is an HG, so that means it's a negotiated part of the negotiated agreement. But we have agreed that anything that makes it easier for employees to, in this case, add the daycare, district employee daycare to the list of deductions that the district is authorized to take from payroll, make it easier, and then we will add it to the HG or the negotiated agreement when we do that in the spring. Let's see, it is, so this is an addendum item. Again, we're trying to make it easy for people, and we want to just it's more convenient to do it, but it is an option. We want to emphasize people are not required to do this. Insurance is another one of there's 4 previous items to this policy. We're adding a 5th, which is the district employee daycare. And we just want people to understand it is an option. No one is being required to do this. So I would entertain a motion to approve policy DLHG, the certified payroll procedures.
So moved.
Moved by Mrs. Thompson. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Summers. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed by the same sign. Motion passes. Okay, and then the companion policy, also an addendum item, policy DLC, which is not part of the negotiated agreement because it covers classified payroll procedures. This is the same addition, but to the classified payroll procedures rather than the certified. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
It's been moved by Mrs. Thompson. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Summers. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed by the same sign. Motion passes. Item number 14, also an addendum item, is the waiver of daycare rates for the month of September 2023. Asking for approval to waive the district daycare rates for the month of September 2023. That will give employees an opportunity to get their payroll deductions set up and so forth with regard to the daycare rates. Is there a motion?
So moved.
It's been moved by Mrs. Wood. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Summers. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed by the same sign. Motion passes. Item number 15 is good of the order. Anyone with anything good of the order? I have a couple of items. I attended the law conference in Laramie the first part of August. It was well attended and there was a lot of interesting conversations going on about various things. That's a conference that's held every other year, so it will probably not be held again until 2025. But it is a worthwhile conference if just to bring you up on education law and the things that are going on in the state of Wyoming, as well as the country. The second is a reminder of the School Boards Association Fall Regional Roundup in Pinedale on Wednesday, September 6th. Dinner will start at 5:30 with the meeting from 6 to 7:30, and they pretty well hold to those timelines. If you're interested and haven't already registered, see Mrs. Murray about registration before August 30th. Next is the vacancy notice as of August 14th, 2023. We also have the July 2023 Head Start Governing Board and Policy Council monthly report. Those are both information items. And is there a motion to adjourn? It's been moved to adjourn. A second, please.
Second.
Second by Mrs. Wood. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned. Made our half hour. We were shooting for a half.